Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha and today I'm sharing my must-have eyeshadows for any beginner with tan brown skin tone like mine, and I'm also going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to achieve a simple neutral eye makeup. By the way, if you find these beginner makeup videos helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and also consider subscribing to my channel. So today I've picked up neutral eyeshadows that go well with a wide range of eyeshadows on the lid, and therefore this look is almost like a skeleton or a framework for a makeup look. So you can just change the color of the eyeshadow on the lid to suit your outfit. So off camera I've gone ahead and primed my eyelids. So I've gone ahead and used this MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour Extend Eye Base. You can use any eye primer that suits your skin type. For me, I have very oily eyelids and I'm testing this one out, but the one that's for sure works on my oily eyelids is the NARS Eye Primer. Now all the products I've used will be listed in the description box below. Also for certain shades I will have substitutes, so all of those will be listed in the description box below. So these are the eyeshadows I have chosen, the ones here on the top here, 6 of these. So the first eyeshadow you need is something close to your skin tone. I'm going to use this eyeshadow by MAC. It's in the shade Bamboo, and as you can see it's close to my skin tone. But if you don't have something similar to this, you can also use your setting powder that you use on your face or any translucent powder as well. Now this is important to set your eye primer because this will result in a more seamless blended eyeshadow look. So I'm just going to take it on a dense brush. Pack it on like that and then just dab it mostly here on the crease area so that when we blend other eyeshadows they blend seamlessly. Also this is great for no makeup days, so if you don't want to put colorful eyeshadows on your eyes, you can just take it all over your eyelid and that'll just blank out if you have any discoloration on your eyes. So that's the base done. Next you want an eyeshadow that's about 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin tone, as you can see here. This is the MAC eyeshadow in the shade Texture. Saddle is also another option that you can use instead. So this is the eyeshadow that's going to be your transition shade. So it's going to be the eyeshadow that helps in blending out the other darker eyeshadows to usually peek out through the eye look, so usually on the edges of the eyes. Also these shades typically tend to add warmth to your eye look. So I'm going to take this on a crease brush like this. I'm going to focus this into this area which is right above this fold of your skin. So do you see when I open my eyes, do you see that line? So I'm applying this right above that line. So I'm applying it there and then blending it up towards this brow bone, which is right under the brows right here. You don't want to go all the way here, but kind of take this eyeshadow towards that. So I'm going to repeat the same on the other eye. So just make sure that both the eyes have about equal amount of eyeshadow and how high they reach is kind of similar. So next you're going to put an eyeshadow into the crease area, which is directly above this line. So closer down here instead of the first eyeshadow which we blended up to quite a large area. So for that I'm going to use Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. So this was the eyeshadow we used as a transition. You can see how much more darker Cocoa Bear is. So with this I'm going to focus it, as I've said before, slightly lower than the previous eyeshadow. So loading it also on a smaller brush, just going to apply it right into the socket. So what this eyeshadow is doing is adding depth to the crease right here, and this is especially important if you have hooded eyes or if you have like this fleshy fold like I have right above the crease. So that's the reason I particularly like using this darker shade. Next we're going to use a really dark eyeshadow such as this one to deepen up the outer corner of the eye. So this is the shade Ground Brown by MAC. So what this eyeshadow is going to do is going to add some dimension to the eye because it's going to add depth to the outer corner. And because we're going to create that extended elongated shape, it's also going to make it look more elongated and more cat eye-like. But that totally depends on how outside you're going to pull out the shade. So you can stop right here. So right where the crease ends, you can stop right there. But I'm going to, I think, bring it out a little bit. So I'm just going to take it on that same pointed crease brush. I'm going to deepen the outer corner of the eye. So just stamp this color right now. And then just start swirling the shade towards the lid area. Going to extend it a little bit. So I'm just pulling this eyeshadow out. Sorry, but my audio stopped recording here, but I'm also slightly taking this darker shade through the crease of my eye. So right through the socket line. So before I do this eye, do you guys see how much more dimension this eye has compared to this one? I did start putting a little bit on the outer corner. You can see the shape that we're trying to create with this darker eyeshadow. Don't worry about these lines that are on the lid because your skin falls when you're trying to blend it out, because we are going to put eyeshadow on the lid. But this is what the outer corner should look like. Next, it's always a good idea to have a black eyeshadow in your kit. So this is highly recommended in a beginner kit. This is MAC's Carbon, but you can also use Corrupt by Makeup Geek. I didn't choose it for this particular kit just because this is more of a beginner one, and this MAC eyeshadow Carbon is less pigmented than the Makeup Geek Corrupt eyeshadow. So if you make any mistakes, it's easier when you use a lesser pigmented product. This is good if you want to deepen up the outer corner even further. So I'm going to show you in a bit. I'm going to add a little bit of black just to the outer portions of this dark brown that we have. And this is also good for lining across the lash line to create like a eyeshadow winged eyeliner. So it's much more softer than using a pencil or even a liquid eyeliner. Also, black eyeshadow can be used for tight lining. So if you're going for a very natural look, just apply a hint right close to your lash line. It makes your lashes look thicker and just looks really nice. So I'm just going to take a small amount of the black eyeshadow on the same brush. So just getting some on the tip and just patting some on the outside corner of this brown. It's going to be very subtle because the brown we've used is quite dark. And also the black we're using is not super pigmented. So right there, I don't know if you can see a difference between this brown outer corner and this one. Of course, this can be used with any other colors. I'm just showing you brown today. And I'm going to create the winged eyeliner at the end with this black eyeshadow once we have the lid eyeshadow on. Next, you also want a light cream kind of an eyeshadow in your kit if you're of my skin tone. And this is Makeup Geek Peaches and Cream. As you can see, it's a very pale yellow shade. And this I'm just going to take a small amount, and it's good to apply right on your brow bone. It helps clean up the eyeshadow if you've taken the transition eyeshadow too high. So as you can see, just added a small amount and it can make such a nice bright look to this eyeshadow. Do you see that lift right there compared to this one? As an option, you can also put a shimmery highlight instead of a matte one. So something like, say, All That Glitters by MAC. So something like this, but you can see how light these eyeshadows are. So you can go with either one. I generally prefer a matte highlight. Very rarely do I go for a shimmery highlight. Just because I have so much area between my crease and my brow, I don't want to emphasize that more. If I am applying a shimmery highlight, it'll be with a very small brush, and I'm going to apply it right at this tip right there. I'm not going to take it all the way along to clean up the eyeshadow look, if that makes sense. And then finally, you also need an eyeshadow for the eyelid. And you can use a shimmery or a matte eyeshadow at this stage. So you can go in with something like this. I'm going to show you on the eye first how a matte looks Going to take a flat eyeshadow brush. So you can just tap it on right here. It's going to clean up if any eyeshadow has come onto the eyelid from the crease and also from the outer corner of the eye. And as you reach here, just blend out the edges with the dark brown eyeshadow like so. Do you see how much more smoother that is compared to this eye? So just repeating the same on this eye. So this is an all matte look, but we're going to change that up in a second, and I'm going to show you the different options for the lid. But before I do that, I want to work on my lower lash line because now there's so much eyeshadow on the top and there's nothing on the bottom lash line, so it's kind of throwing me off. So I'm first going in with this shade that we used as a transition. So this is Texture by MAC. I'm going to just line it along my lower lash line. Just add some subtle definition if you can see a difference between the two eyes. Next, I'm going in with the Crease eyeshadow. This is Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek. Taking it 3/4 of the way in, and then taking the dark brown and just going to apply this to the outer half of the lower lash line. Finally, I'm going to take some of that black eyeshadow as well and just pack it on the outer edge, not bringing it in too much. Just using the transition shades just to soften this. So, Texture by MAC. Just going over the edges of the V shape that we have, the wing. Alright, so this is what the eye looks like right now. So before adding the black eyeshadow along the lash line, I'm going to show you a few different options that you can have for the lid. So right now I have this matte eyeshadow. You can switch that up with this. So this is All That Glitters by MAC. So it's going to give a shimmery finish. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So this is what that eyeshadow is. I'm just going to dab it right there. I'm not putting too much, but I just want you to see the difference. So do you see that difference between the matte look versus the shimmery eye? It just makes the eyelid look larger whenever you use a shimmery eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to show you Wood Winked on the lid on this eye. So I'm going to just pack that on. I just put it too high, so just taking a blending brush. So there you have it. This is All That Glitters and this is Wood Winked on the eyelid. Next, I'm going to show you another option right on top of these. So this first one is Sable, again by MAC. It's a deeper pink based eyeshadow. So I'm going to pack this on to deepen up the previous eyeshadow. You can see that that eyeshadow also looks really nice with this base makeup on. Next, I'm going to show you this bronze eyeshadow called Romp, how that can look. So it's going to change that into a bronzy gold, which makes it more subtle. It's not too much of a highlight. So I really like Romp with this eyeshadow look. Next, I'm going to show you this kind of a copper eyeshadow, how that can look with this eye makeup. This is what that looks like. Just packing it on this. So we're going deeper in tone. It has toned down the previous lighter eyeshadows. There you go. That looks lovely as well. Then I'm going to show you one last eyeshadow before I start looking crazy. So it's going to be Cranberry by MAC, which looks like this. So taking it like that. Surprisingly, they end up looking the same. So I'm just going to even this out and put the cranberry shade on this as well. Now I'm just going to clean up the edges because I applied so many eyeshadows. And then finally, I'm going to use this black eyeshadow as an eyeliner right next to my lashes. Take it on an angled brush like this. Just stamp it close to the lash line. Just going to bring it halfway across the eye, not all the way in, like so. What you can also do is take it on that same angled brush and just line close to the lashes on the outer corner. That just further defines the eye. I don't know if you can see the difference on camera between the two eyes. Just going to finish up with mascara and I'll be right back. And this is the final makeup. So this is what the eyes look like. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me.